Boundaries. It's a big word, very fashionable at the moment. Let me just explain what it means in very simple terms. Boundaries are a flowing phenomenon. They are not something fixed like borders, which are a political agreement between different countries or different people. Like your toothbrush stands on the left, my toothbrush stands on the right. This is an agreement, and we need sometimes these agreements just to make life easier and more clear. Boundaries is something different. Boundaries has to do with how far can I expand and feel alive, adventurous, and safe at the same time. So it depends on situations, how far you can expand and still feel safe and open at the same time, and yet in your center. Boundaries are something that we start developing when we start walking, when we are little kids. And it has to do with a lot of adventurousness, a lot of reaching out, when we learn to say no, or we learn to say, I want this, I want that. And we are experimenting, so we need from our parents a safe holding surrounding, but also the permission to experience how far our limits can go in different situations and not be told already what it is. In that way, parents sometimes out of very, very good intentions stop us too early, prevent us from exploring what feels good and doesn't feel good, or on the contrary, don't hold the space for us, are absent and indifferent and follow a routine. In both cases, our boundaries, our sense of boundaries is invaded, actively or passively. Now, in our life, how do we set healthy boundaries? The first thing to consider is, instead of bringing our attention to the outside, what I don't like, what I like about you, what I don't like about you, know this situation and so on, and often ending up in an inner conflict of having spoken too early or too late, first thing to do is to feel our bodies. Because when our boundaries were invaded on a physical level, we learn to shrink, to adapt, to adjust, to make ourselves smaller, to hold our energy back. When our emotional boundaries were invaded and we were told not to feel certain things or to feel other things that we weren't feeling, we started either spacing out or becoming reactive. And again, mentally is the same thing. The last way of boundaries has to do with spirituality, with being allowed to experience our connection with spirituality in the way it's natural for us as it unfolds. So the first key to heal our boundaries is to bring the attention to ourselves, not to whoever represents invasions that might be much older than the interaction that we are having now. This workshop is about finding back the key to yourself so that you can set for each and every situation healthy and flowing boundaries with the option to change them as you go along. So you're most welcome to join, and we are looking forward to share this experience with you.